His brush moved across the wall with confident strokes. I watched from my kitchen doorway, coffee cooling in my hands. Fresh paint gleamed wet under morning light, but that wasn't what held my attention. It was the way his shoulders shifted beneath. That thin white shirt, how paint had splattered across his forearms like abstract art. He'd been working in my apartment for 3 days now. 3 days of watching him transform my walls from tired beige to vibrant colors. 3 days of catching myself staring when I should have been working from home. The divorce papers had been signed 6 months ago. This renovation was supposed to be my fresh start. But watching him work, feeling this pull I hadn't expected, maybe the fresh start was already beginning. "Ma'am?" His voice broke through my thoughts. "Ready for me to start on the bedroom? Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. It takes just a second, but helps the channel grow. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for what happens next." Now, let's continue. I led him down the hallway, hyper-aware of his presence behind me. The bedroom door stood open, morning sun streaming through bare windows. He stepped past me, surveying the space with professional eyes. But when he turned back, something in his gaze had shifted. "Nice light in here," he murmured. "Perfect for painting." "Just painting?" The words slipped out before I could stop them. He set down his paint can slowly, deliberately. "Depends what you had in mind." The air between us thickened. 6 months of loneliness, of sleeping alone in this very room, suddenly felt like too much. His paint-stained fingers flexed at his sides. I noticed a streak of blue across his jaw, wanted to reach up and wipe it away. "The walls can wait," I said softly. He stepped closer. "You sure about that?" Instead of answering, I closed the distance between us. His hands found my waist, leaving traces of paint I knew would stain my shirt. I didn't care. His lips tasted like coffee and possibility. The kiss started gentle, testing, then deepened as months of wanting crashed over me. His calloused palms slid under my shirt, rough against soft skin. Every touch left invisible colors blooming beneath my ribs. We moved together toward the bed, shedding clothes between kisses. His work pants hit the floor, still dusty with plaster. My inhibitions followed. Sunlight painted gold across his chest. As he leaned over me, I traced the definition of his arms, muscles earned through honest work. He caught my hand, pressed it flat against his heartbeat. "Been wanting this since day one," he admitted, voice rough. "Just the first day?" I teased, arching beneath him. His laugh rumbled through both of us. Then talking became unnecessary as our bodies found their own conversation. His weight settled over me, grounding me in the present moment. Every movement was deliberate, considered, like he was creating something beautiful. My fingers tangled in his hair as he explored the curve of my throat. Each kiss painted heat across my skin. When he shifted lower, tracing patterns with his tongue, I forgot about fresh starts and new beginnings. This moment was everything. "Look at me," he whispered. I met his eyes, saw my own hunger reflected. There. Then he was moving with me, setting a rhythm that built like color layering on canvas. My hands gripped his shoulders, nails leaving crescents in his skin. The headboard tapped against the freshly painted wall, probably leaving marks. Neither of us cared. Time stretched and contracted. The world narrowed to sensation. His breath against my ear, the flex of muscle under my palms, the building pressure that threatened to shatter me. When release finally claimed me, it felt like breaking through to light after months in shadow. He followed me over that edge, my name a prayer on his lips. We collapsed together, tangled and breathless. Paint smudges decorated my hips where his hands had gripped too tight. Battle scars from the best kind of war. "So," he said eventually, tracing lazy circles on my stomach, "about those walls?" I laughed, feeling lighter than I had in months. "They're not going anywhere." He propped himself up on one elbow, studying me with artist's eyes. "Neither am I, if that's okay." The vulnerability in his voice made my chest tight. I pulled him, down for another kiss, tasting promise on his lips. More than okay, I murmured. We stayed in bed as morning stretched toward afternoon. He told me about his art, the paintings he created when he wasn't working renovation jobs. I shared stories about my marriage ending, how I'd felt colorless for months afterward. His fingers never stopped moving across my skin, painting invisible masterpieces. You know what this room needs? He said suddenly. Besides paint? A mural. His eyes lit up with creative fire. Something just for you. Something that captures this. The idea sent warmth spreading through me. You'd do that? For you? Absolutely. He sat up, scanning the walls with new purpose. I watched him plan, saw the artist emerge from behind the contractor facade. His excitement was contagious. Here, he said, indicating the wall opposite the bed. So, you see it every morning when you wake up. I rose to stand beside him, wrapping the sheet around myself. He turned, catching the fabric and pulling me against him. Though if I have my way, he continued, lips brushing my temple, you'll be seeing me every morning instead. Bold words for someone I'd known 3 days. But something about him felt right. Felt like coming home to a place I'd never been. Maybe it was crazy. Maybe it was exactly what I needed. Stay tonight, I said. We can start the mural tomorrow. His smile transformed his whole face. I'll need to get my good brushes and different paints. Colors that match your eyes, your skin. His hands roamed as he spoke, mapping the palette of my body. I trust your artistic vision. We made love again as afternoon light slanted through the windows. Slower this time, savoring each touch like artists studying their subject. He showed me how patient hands could create magic. I discovered that passion could be both fierce and tender. Later, wrapped in sheets that smelled like him, I watched him sketch ideas on a notepad he'd found in my nightstand. His brow furrowed in concentration, tongue caught between his teeth. Occasionally he'd glance at me, then back to his drawing, capturing something essential. What are you drawing? You. He turned the pad to show me. Simple lines had captured the curve of my smile, the way light caught in my hair, the way you look right now, completely at peace. Peace. Yes, that's what this feeling was. After months of upheaval, of questioning every choice, peace had found me in the arms of a painter with gentle hands and seeing eyes. I haven't felt this. Way in, I don't know how long. He set aside the notepad, gathering me close. Me neither. Been going through the motions, job to job. Then I walk into your apartment and... He shook his head, searching for words. And suddenly, colors. Look brighter. Like I'd been painting in grayscale without realizing it. I understood perfectly. The world had shifted into sharper focus these past 3 days. Like someone had adjusted the contrast on my life, making everything more vivid. Think it will last? I asked, voicing the fear that nibbled at the edges of my happiness. He tilted my chin up, meeting my eyes squarely. I think we make it last. Day by day, stroke by stroke. Like building up layers of paint until the picture's complete. That could take a while. I've got time. He sealed the promise with a kiss that tasted like forever. Evening fell softly. We ordered takeout, eating cross-legged on my bed amid scattered sketches. He showed me photos of his other work, massive murals that transformed bland spaces into wonderlands. I saw the artist's soul beneath the contractor exterior, understood why paint clung to him like a second skin. This is what I really want to do, he confided. Create beauty, not just cover walls. Why don't you? He shrugged, but I caught the flash of vulnerability. Bills to pay. Plus, it's hard to make it as just an artist. What if you didn't have to do it alone? The question hung between us, heavy with possibility. We'd known each other mere days. Logic said this was too fast, too intense. But logic hadn't made me happy in my carefully planned marriage. Maybe it was time to trust instinct instead. You mean that? His voice carried wonder and hope in equal measure. I have savings. From the divorce settlement. Was going to use it for... I don't know. Something safe. Something practical. I took his paint-stained hand. But maybe investing in dreams is more practical than playing it safe. You barely know me. I know enough. And I did. I knew the way he looked at blank walls and saw possibility, how he touched me like I was art worth creating, the way he listened when I spoke. Really listened, catching nuances others had missed for years. "This is crazy," he said, but he was smiling. The best things usually are. He pulled me onto his lap, cradling me against his chest. "You'd really take a chance on a struggling artist?" "I'd take a chance on you." His arms tightened around me. "Then let's paint something beautiful together." We sealed our unlikely partnership with kisses that grew heated. Clothes disappeared again as darkness settled outside. This time when we came together, it felt like signing a contract written in desire and dreams. Every touch was a promise, every gasp an affirmation. He moved above me with intent focus, artist's hands painting pleasure across my skin. I arched to meet him, giving as good as I got. We found rhythm in the darkness, bodies speaking truths our minds were still processing. "Perfect," he breathed, against my throat. "You're perfect." I wasn't perfect. Neither was he. But maybe together we could create something that transcended our individual flaws, like complementary colors that sang when placed side by side. The thought pushed me over the edge. Release crashed through me in waves of light and sensation. He followed close behind, my name a masterpiece on his lips. Afterward, we lay tangled and sweat-cooled, listening to night sounds drifting through open windows. His fingers traced abstract patterns on my back. I pressed kisses to the paint smudges on his chest. "So, what happens tomorrow?" I asked. "Tomorrow, we start your mural. And maybe look at studio spaces. I know a guy who's renting—" I meant with us. He rolled me beneath him, expression serious in the dim light. "Tomorrow I wake up next to you. Make coffee while you shower. Paint your walls and plan our future. Take it one day at a time until one day becomes always. That simple? That simple. That complicated. That perfect." I pulled him down for a kiss that promised everything. Partnership, passion, possibility. When we broke apart, I knew my life had shifted permanently. 6 months ago, my world had shattered. Now, piece by colorful piece, we would build something new. "I love you," I whispered, surprising us both. His eyes widened, then softened. "I love you too. Have since you opened your door that first morning." 3 days. Is that enough time to know? "Time's just paint on canvas," he said. "What matters is what picture emerges." We made love once more as night deepened, slow and sweet. Each touch wrote promises on willing skin. When exhaustion finally claimed us, we slept entwined, breathing in sync. Morning arrived with possibilities bright as fresh paint. I woke to find him already up, sketching by the window. Golden light caught the planes of his back, turned his hair to burnished bronze. "Morning, beautiful," he said without turning. "I had an idea for your mural." I stretched luxuriously, still feeling him on my skin. "Tell me." He brought his sketch pad to the bed, settling beside me. The drawing took my breath away. A phoenix rising from abstract swirls of color, wings spread wide in triumph. But the bird's face was unmistakably mine. "It's gorgeous," I breathed. "But why a phoenix?" "Because you're rising from ashes, starting fresh, turning pain into beauty." He traced the lines with one finger. "Like you've done for me." Tears pricked my eyes. "You see all that in me?" "I see everything in you." We kissed with morning-soft lips and hearts full of promise. When we finally rose, it felt like stepping into a new life. He made coffee while I showered, domestic intimacy sweeter than any grand gesture. "Ready to help?" he asked when I emerged, gesturing to paint cans he'd arranged. "I'm not an artist. Everyone's an artist. Just needs the right inspiration." He showed me how to mix colors, how to load brushes, how to see shadows and light. We worked side by side, transforming my bedroom wall into something magical. His hands guided mine when I faltered, teaching through touch. "See? Natural talent," he said as I completed a section of swirling blues. "I have a good teacher." "You have good everything." The work went slowly, interrupted by kisses and caresses. Paint ended up in unexpected places. Laughter echoed off bare walls. By afternoon, the phoenix was taking shape, proud and brilliant. "It's incredible," I said, stepping back to admire our progress. "It's us," he corrected, "creating beauty from chaos." I turned in his arms, overwhelmed by the rightness of this moment. "Thank you." "For what?" "For seeing me. For helping me see myself." He kissed me deeply, paint-wet brushes still in our hands. "Thank you for taking a chance on a painter with big dreams. Our dreams now. Our dreams," he agreed. As afternoon light shifted to evening gold, we put finishing touches on the mural. The phoenix soared across my wall, reborn in brilliant color. Like me, like us, like the future we were painting together. "What do you think?" he asked, setting down his brush. I studied our work, seeing more than just paint on plaster. I saw transformation, hope, love discovered in unexpected places. "I think it's perfect." "Know what would make it more perfect?" "What?" He dropped to one knee beside the paint cans, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket. My heart stopped. "Marry me," he said simply. "Let's make this crazy, beautiful thing permanent." 3 days. It was insane. It was impossible. It was absolutely right. "Yes," I breathed. "Yes, yes, yes." The ring was silver, set with a stone that sparkled like wet paint in sunlight. He slipped it onto my finger with shaking hands, then swept me into his arms. "I love you," he said against my lips. "My muse, my phoenix, my everything." "I love you too, my artist, my new beginning, my always." We celebrated our engagement the only way that made sense, christening the space beneath our newly painted mural. Paint cans watched like witnesses as we pledged ourselves with bodies and hearts. Later, as stars appeared outside my windows, we lay admiring our handiwork. The phoenix seemed to glow in the low light, wings spread in eternal flight. "No regrets?" he asked softly. "Only that we didn't meet sooner. Maybe we met exactly when we were supposed to, when we were ready." I considered this, tracing patterns on his chest. "You really think fate brought you to my door?" "I think we brought ourselves to each other's doors. Just took paint and patience to get there." "And what's behind the next door?" "Only one way to find out." He was right. Life was like art. You never knew what would emerge until you picked up the brush and began. But with him beside me, I was ready to paint whatever came next. Sleep claimed us beneath our phoenix, wrapped in dreams bright as fresh color. Tomorrow we would plan weddings and galleries, merge bank accounts and art supplies. We would build a life stroke by careful stroke. But tonight we simply held each other. Two artists who had found their masterpiece in the most unexpected canvas. Each other's hearts. Some people search their whole lives for that perfect connection. If you found yourself falling for someone after just 3 days, would you take the leap or play it safe? I want to hear your stories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss what comes next. Until next time, keep painting your own beautiful story.